Yo, I got smoked by this spy, so as revenge, I'm going to teach you all every little spy trick on the map of Odyssey, starting with the one in the first clip. You just hop up there, it's pretty good, easy to set up a spawn camp. But you can also just hop on this fence if you're on offense and like jump over and stab the folks trying to kill you. This rock's pretty useful if you want to fake someone out, typically if you're on red. You kind of got to do a little wiggle to land on the blue barrel consistently. Here, just hop on the rock. Anytime you can get vertical as a spy, you're going to be really happy. These cinder blocks, hop on the house, you know, have fun, do whatever. These are more like sniper spots, but they work for spy. Here, if you want to set a cheeky spawn camp, the developer of this map, I swear, he's a spy main because every spawn is so easily camped. Oh, okay, real quick there. You have to land on the base of that pillar before you jump. There's a little step up, otherwise you can't make it on top of the cinder block. It's really tricky, but once you practice, you'll get a feel for it. And then you can just jungle gym it like crazy. You can also get on that block on the left here. I didn't jump to it, but you know. Alright, you gotta love the Fortnite bush. Not super useful, but maybe it is. Jump up here, and I just want to show you that you can walk on the outside here. Good for a little mix-up. But on this next clip, it's pretty difficult, but there's a little peg that sticks out that you can land on if you surf around the corner. One other pro tip there is there's a transparent grating on the right side when you make that jump, so look for that to see if anyone's on the other side. Now up here, this is me just jumping up on these pillars. It's really useful because you'll find a lot of engineers over there. Just any sort of height you can get will allow you to stair stab them. Now if you hear that jingle, I think the developer put in triggers. So if you're in like a certain spy spot, it'll play a little noise letting you know that like he's like real, recognize real. You'll hear him throughout the video. I might also just be going crazy. Here's another Fortnite bush. You can park down here, get some people who aren't paying attention. Kind of lame to play there, but you do you. Now, if you wonder how you can figure out spots for yourself on new maps, just jump around like I'm doing. I hit my head on this grate. You're not supposed to do that, this overhead, and I found a god spot. Nice. Trick stab, you know. Important to sell it, don't look the other way. If you want, for some reason, really need to get up this rock super fast. Jumping over here, always good to be opportunistic. You know, you never know what you're going to find on the other side. And then obviously you got to sit in the Fortnite bush. You can make this jump right onto the roof, surprise the snipers. There's that chime again, another good spot. Okay, so the cart makes jumping up easy, but if you're a god gamer, you can also do it without the cart. That is so hard. But this is a lot more practical, probably what I would use in-game. And you don't have to just go up there, you can actually park it over here in the corner. Developer agrees. That little clip, you have to land on the pallet. You have to jump on the pallet if you want to make it up in one jump. Whatever, it's not that great. I always like jumping on these rocks. I don't know why. It's just menacing. I think people freak the fuck out when you do that. Also, more spawn camping. Let's go. Spawn camping. You can hide pretty good here. It's hard to spot you. And then just surf around the corner. You don't have to surf around the corner. It is better if you make the jump first try, but you can, you know, kind of do a 180 mix up here, and you can get up here. So, really powerful way to patrol this back area if you're a spy. That pillar right there is clipped. You can't do anything fun with it as far as I can tell. But all these other pillars are still pretty good. You can jump off and kind of get that verticality, get those stair stabs going. Boom. Also, if the cart's there, use this as a little step up. You know, it's really nice knowing if you can shortcut parts of the map. Here, you know, just, this area is kind of like a jungle gym. You jump everywhere you want. This is honestly disgusting. So you can make this jump 3 different ways, from the top, the middle, and the bottom one. The bottom one is very difficult. I don't get a first try, but in a pinch, if you gotta go fast, do 1, 2, boom, boom. You can also go back the other way. Gotta learn this one. This was just teleports you across the map. Boom. You can jump off the cart, get into this NG spot here. We'll catch them by surprise because they'll usually expect you walking up. But a lot to do. You can also get back on this wall. I jump to the right, but you could also jump to the left if the cart's not there. I got the debug menu on here. These pillars are actually squares, so it's super easy to run into them and just die. Again, some more spawn camping. This bucket's probably better. Just remember, if you're spawn camping, disguise as a friendly scout, not an enemy scout, because you get like wall hacks now. Here, this is, I don't know, I guess if you decloak up there is pretty good, but if you're like try-hard Highlander spy, this little branch thing, fence, you see everything, wow. It's really hard to do first try, but you're up top. Now this is probably the award for the most useless jump and the most difficult. You gotta get it just right, and then you hit this jump, bang. See, I told you it's not easy. If you want to get up that fast, you have to jump around the corner, and this is also a pretty difficult jump. I'm not sure the practicality is standing on the air conditioner here, but you can do it. Now you can jump into this balcony here from all 3 pegs. The first one's the hardest. This is what I do when I play the game. It's just easiest to do and it's relatively quick. But if you're having a panic attack and really struggling, you just jump up like that. Here you gotta learn this one. This lets you get to the top incredibly fast and super hidden. And then once you're up here, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do. Hang out here, jump across. Also fun to play as a sniper up there. You don't always have to go up and go out. This one's pretty difficult, but the harder it is, the less they're gonna suspect it. You just jump down, kill everyone from there. A little surf across the pipe, let's go. This one's really hard, but no one will suspect it either. You can stand on there on the box, or stand on this barrel. The box is probably better. Here's one for a cheap stab, and there's also some demon tech, but we'll see that in a second. Again, you can use these eaves, they work pretty well. Jump, you can transfer across. You know, anything but standing on the ground is where you want to be as a spy. Now here I cut it. This is so hard, but I bet you if you're really a demon at KZ, you could make it. But this is a great flank for scouts, soldiers, demos, anyone who's good at the game, basically. You can hide back here, more eaves, just pointing them out. Here's a sample escape route. Look like you're going right, jump up here, boom, boom. Fly across the map. You can make this transfer from here as well. Just keep them guessing. Never know where you're going to go. Jump up on the AC. Who knows? And then, you know, the more you can switch back, the more you can confuse them, the better. Here you can actually do this drop down without fall damage. Very fast. And here, speaking of no fall damage, just don't crouch. You'll be good. A little trick stab. Bang. I don't know if this is useful, I'll be entirely honest. Here you can jump up, but you might be asking yourself, what if I could get a little higher? Well, boom, little Highlander spot. But if you're a god gamer, boom. TBD on how useful this spot is, but maybe if you're really down bad, you can disguise as a scout and hang out on this corner and just be hard to see. But I've always had people just look at me from the left. There's another ledge over there that you can do. It's not nearly as good. It's super easy to fall off. You can climb. I don't know how useful this spot is, but if you need to make a quick getaway, just climb up this thing and hop around. Again, more little spots that you can just hide, maybe decloak. All right, now here's how we spawn camp. It's kind of hard to get up here. Your head's low, so you have to stay crouched. But if you get all the way to the left, you can line up for your jump. Now, one big tip when you're spawn camping a spy is you got to mix your spots up. If you stay in the same spot, that's the first place they're going to look when they respawn. So keep it different. Now, I thought they patched places like that. This is kind of nasty, but the nastier spot is right over here. Like, what? How is this in the game? Anyways, here's another decent spot. You can just hang out. You know, just mix it up. Now, if you got the dead ringer, here's a trick. I don't know how useful it really is because you're going to wake up with no cloak in the middle of the empty nest, but if you got to go fast, it could work for a Hail Mary sap. That's the quickest way up. Now, this is good. You should learn that. It's very difficult, but that will allow you to get to the spawn so fast. This jump's hard, but it gives you a really commanding spot on the red defense. You can jump on this house. You can also do it from the roof. It's kind of tricky, but maybe get a cheap stab. You can go both ways. This is a lot easier. Going back is so much harder. Just aim for that tiny corner. Hop on this barrel if you want to maybe surprise somebody. You know, the whole point is knowing all these spots is you can mix it up, keep things different, because if you farm the same spot, people don't get fooled twice usually. Down here, you know, for a cheap kill, people sometimes don't pay attention when they're going over those things. Finally, this is really hard, but not very useful either, so who knows. You can stand on the top of this roof. Here's how you do it from the cave. Now, you don't actually have to jump right here, but very difficult, really good to learn. And that's the end of the video. I hope you learned something new, because I love to teach. I know a lot about this game, but if you want to see more, show this video some love. I'll leave you with this clip. Hope it gets you fired up to play. Peace!
Mission ends in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.